Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 12:17 p.m. on the 21st of May 2024. We've just come in from outside, Charlie and I. Was sitting there, I was having a lovely cup of tea and my kind of breakfast because I didn't haul out of bed till late again today. I'm just exhausted in general, but I had a better night last night. I only got up 3 times through the night, which was a lot better than 8 times. Whew, the night before I was run ragged, my goodness. So I'm all anxious now because I've paid for a market stall, so I've signed up for it and actually paid for it on the 9th of June, which is going to be held at White Lady's funeral parlour inside the building. It's going to be a bit weird, I suppose. It's a weird venue. And I'm a bit triggered because they did my mother's funeral. Well, I chose to do it through them because my mother was a white lady. So I hope I don't feel haunted all day when I'm there. I'll have to push that aside because it's just a tenuous kind of thread of connection, really. But it's an indoor market, so I'll be out of the weather and hopefully it'll be air conditioned. But I get so anxious because all the markets I've gone to over the years, which is like on average 2 or 3 a year, I haven't sold anything. And so then I come home and I get even more distressed because I have wasted money on top of everything else. But it's time I try again. We're in another year now. It'll be June. So I'll just try again, and I've booked in for, but not paid yet, for another market on the 29th of June. So if I have, reasonable sales on the 9th, which is a Sunday, I'll go ahead and do the market on the 29th, which is a Saturday. But I'm kind of nervous and dreading it. This is how I am with my anxiety. It's like every opportunity I have to make money, I just shut down and go a bit cray-cray, and it's just bizarre. It's like so many spiritual and financial blocks are thrown in my way. However, I figure I'll try again, because if you don't try, you don't make sales. And I've got all the stuff that I made over the years and it needs to be sold. It's like, I don't need that much jewellery. I made it to be sold with a view of, making sales. So I have to square my shoulders and try. But the only bad thing is the markets go from 8 till 12, so I'll have to get there by 6, or even they may get us there by 5 to bump in, and I don't do early mornings. So my anxiety is through the roof. But you know what? I'll look at it this way. It might be a bit of fun, and it's a different market to where I was going to previously, where I failed epically through no fault of my own. So I'll just keep trying, and eventually things will start moving, and maybe that block, that albatross, might just fly away and cut me some slack. Am I right? Be good, wouldn't it? So so I'm all thinking about that this morning. I've got a few things I need to do to prepare, like I need to buy a proper outdoor chair, because I did buy a little stool and I can use that, but it's a bit hard on the back, but then I guess I'm only there for 4 hours. How much sitting around am I going to be doing? Yeah, I might not bother buying a better chair because I don't really need it. I've got to not sweat. I've got to just not sweat the small stuff. And I've got to organise a longer table. My friend Lynn's bought me, and I'm going to pay her for it, a shorter table, but I think I will need a longer table as well. So I'll look into that. And I've got to buy some distilled water, which is very hard to get in Brisbane, by the way. I always struggle to find it. You can make your own from rainwater, but anyway, I'm going to go looking for some distilled water, because I need to tumble some of my silver if it needs cleaning. It may be okay because it hasn't been exposed to the air since the last time. But yeah, you just want everything all nice and schmick, when you're wanting to sell it. So there is that. So I'm excited but nervous as hell. But, every step forward is a step forward, and every failure is 2 steps back. And I've been doing this dance all my life, so one day things will change and it'll just keep ploughing forward like a snow plough in a blizzard. Anyway, no blizzards, clear seeing, clear vision, clear positive vibe. Intention is everything. I am successful. I am prosperous. I am capable, even with all my neuroses and isms. So, yes, I just hope the people there are nice and kind, because there was a few weirdos that were turning up at the plant lovers market, which was quite triggering actually. Seemed to be attract a weird kind of vibe there. So how bad could it be being held inside a funeral parlour, and me being, a bit of a medium at times? I'll be probably, having messages from spirits, so I'll have to tune them out. Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done to myself? You have to laugh. But anyway, Mama T, being a natural born witch, will handle that aspect. It's just, I'll just have to say to them, look, don't block my chi and help me sell my jewellery. And if you're nice to me, I'll come back here again and we can have a little chat next time. So anyway, you kind of have to laugh at how my destiny always leads me in a perfect concentric circle to the same point. And it was weird because the last time I was driving to Myala with my daughter, which would have been prior to September last year, because we haven't spent time with each other or really spoken to each other since then. But anyway, the last time we were driving up, we drove past the White Lady's funeral home on Kelvin Grove Road, and I saw the sign for the markets, and I even thought, what a strange place to have a market. But then I thought, oh, maybe I should sign up for that. And I talked myself out of it because I'm haven't had much success at markets. Haven't had any success at markets, really, in real terms. I always ran at a bit of a loss, or I made no sales at all. So I'm like, at the time I was like, oh, isn't that weird? Maybe, with my shamanic attributes, where Lady Death dances with me regularly, maybe I'll have better luck there, ironically. So, and here we are. It must be about a year later, and I'm actually going to have a market store there. So it's, it's blowing my mind a bit. Anyway, the hard part is getting there and unpacking everything and setting up, and then packing everything down. And early in the morning stuff. That's the hardest part. Shouldn't be so bad, hopefully. Anyway, life goes on, and I can achieve things. Got schmutz on my glasses. It's driving me nuts. Constantly schmutzy glasses. Right, here we go. I think that might be a scratch. It better not be a scratch, because these are brand new glasses. Whatever that is, it's not going away. Lovely. I've been careful with these too, because they were expensive. Well, expensive for me. Anyway, that's enough waffling on about worries and anxieties and, new ventures. I've got a big fat kookaburra sitting out. I think I told you that already. Might have. Sitting outside, so that's a good sign. Kookaburras are good omens. So, the spirits are telling me, don't worry, Tanya Aarons, just be happy. Whatever happens, and just go with the flow. Dance your dance through life, and whatever happens, have fun with it, basically. Anyway, memories of the 21st of May 2024, and I titled it Freedom and Joie de Vivre. Joie de vivre is French for the joys of life, the absolute delight and mischief and excitement of life, the bubbling, effervescing, frothing of excitement, being happy in whatever you're doing. So here I posted a photo by Christophe van der Waals. It's delightful. I thought so anyway. It's of an angel with a lovely circlet of flowers around her head. Isn't that funny? On a day that I'm telling you about going to a market stall with the white ladies, we have a lady in white feathery wings. But Mama T has to stay grounded in her physical body on planet Earth, so the angels may have my back. Well, they do have my back, actually. Let's be real here. It's been demonstrated many times throughout my life. So all will be well. 21 May 2023, I posted 3 videos from my YouTube, but I didn't put titles, so I don't know what they are. Probably related to jewellery making. So that's annoying. But anyway, if you go on my Vocal Media and you look it up, you can click on them and you'll know what the videos are, because even I don't. It's kind of hilarious in a way. So, not well. I had a mug of mullein tea, which upset my system because I accidentally drank the lees. Oh my goddess, don't ever drink the lees of mullein tea. It's got little tiny hairs or little tiny barbs on it, and as it hits your throat and goes down your throat, you immediately vomit. It's not pleasant, people, but I didn't do it deliberately. Anyway, here I write, instant vomiting attack. Ugh, my poor lungs and esophagus. It's a living. I tell you what, I'm so grateful to Jim Carrington though for putting me onto that, because it saved my life a couple of times in the last 2 years when I was desperately ill and my asshole doctor wouldn't give me proper antibiotics. I cleared the infection out that way. But he said it would be rough, and it was indeed rough. By the gods, it was rough as guts, but it works, and whatever works, healers heal thyself. If you can't rely on your doctors, you have to rely on your wise ones who give you the right information on how to heal things. And funny story on that subject. I was listening to some podcast yesterday. I can't remember which podcast it was, but they talked about a man who literally had some big tumour off the side of his head, and he shot it off with a shotgun, the tumour, and blew it away. And when they went to the hospital, he had, literally healed himself. The tumour was all gone and it was all clear, and yet he managed to not damage his actual brains. And I thought, that can't be true. Apparently it's a true story. And the hospital said, do not try this at home, people. This is not the traditional way of blasting away tumours. But I kind of had to laugh because, physician, heal thyself. He must have been in that much pain and got sick of waiting on doctors, and he went, well, if I die, I die. Boom. And healed himself. It was like miraculous. But anyway, trust me to watch something dark and weird like that and find the funny side of it, That's so typical for my spirit. Well, eventually everything becomes comedy, except for holocausts and pedophilia, people. That's never fucking funny. But, almost blowing your head off to heal yourself of a tumour, when you think about it, is kind of hilarious. So, who went on to survive, that man, by the way? It was very creative of him. How am I going to creatively cure my bladder? Well, we won't be doing that. I'm not shooting myself, people. No way, no how. Not even if it's a really, really good idea. But I kind of shoot myself in the foot regularly. Every time I open my mouth, I get myself in trouble. But, that's different. That's just poetic license, people. Poetic bloody license. So 21st of May 2022, 2 years ago today, 3:12 a.m, home from a great night of dancing. My feet hurt now, but I'm tucked up in bed listening to the rain and grateful for my freedom and joie de vivre. That's why I titled it that. I was paraphrasing. Where are you going, Charlie? You can't be climbing those curtains. I'm watching you. The 2 biopsies on my shoulder blade are hurting quite a bit, but I'm glad that I pushed myself out to go dancing. I had felt tired all day, but the dancing did me the power of good, a much needed catharsis. Even with 2 freaking wounds in my shoulders, I go dancing, people. That's how much of a practice it is for me and how important I deem it to be and how I push myself. It's a pity I can't push myself like that to make actual money, like get a business started or have success at the markets. But look, I'm going, and whatever happens once I'm there happens. And I am trying, people of Earth. I'm trying. Oh. Anyway, earlier that day I wrote, I am pontificating if I should go dancing again. I slept most of the day after last night's efforts. It's raining and I feel isolated, but I also need to be wary of overexerting myself. I don't feel like being alone this evening, but being alone is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it makes for positive exponential growth. Time to think, time to process, and time to value human interactions when they come my way. Time is on my side, and attitude is everything, smiley face. And so you can see that later in that evening, I decided that I wasn't going to be on my own. I was going dancing anyway. So this is the dilemma, as I can shift and change my mind and push myself out sometimes. Even when I don't feel all that well, I have to push myself out, because if I don't, I lose confidence and my anxiety starts taking over and I don't have a life at all, which I don't want that. I don't want to live in a constant state of nervous system limboic siege, and I have to overcome it, like I have to overcome my anxieties about going to a market. Am I right? I'm right. So it's hard that I have to do everything on my own, but you know what? Other people have to do things on their own too. I'm not alone in that. Come here, Charlie. And I just have to square my shoulders and soldier on and just hope for the best. Hope for the best, Charlie. Can I have a kissy kissy? I'd take you to the markets with me, Charlie, but you'd poo all over everyone in the stock and we'd get kicked out. What, she says? What? What? Maybe I have to buy a kind of a nappy for her. I wonder if they make nappies for rainbow lorikeets. Probably do, You'd be surprised what they have in pet shops. All sorts of weird and quirky things. But they probably don't allow pets anyway, though. We won't worry about it, Charlie. You're going to be on your own that morning, most of that morning. You'll be all right. Mama always comes home eventually. I just had something catch my eye, and it's a little butcher bird that was hopping along the tree branch and then grabbed some bug. But it was like doing a little dance as it did it. I was like, oh, that's so cute. The birds are really cute today. I've just posted a little video before making this one. It's already up there on YouTube. With this big fat kookaburra and the crows hanging out watching Charlie and I in the garden. It was delightful, wasn't it? Yes. She was a little bit nervous, but I thought it was delightful. Because you was a pretty bird. All the wild birds come and they say, why is that birdie with that woman? Why does she get all the special treatment? What's so special about her? She fell out of the nest. She's a freak of nature like me. Fell out of the nest. Yes, she did. She's a very special birdie. The kind you don't take home to mother. Mother! Do you love my birdie? Yes, who wouldn't love this birdie? She's perfect in every way for a freak of nature. Stop pulling out your feathers, you freak of nature. That's right. Don't make yourself ugly. Don't self-immolate for anyone, Charlie. Own your own beauty, Charlie. Own your own power as a birdie. Oh, look at her. Look, she's just, look. Oh, have I got the sweet spot right underneath your beak? Oh, is that a bit nice? Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Oh, she's delightful. She's gorgeous. She's a sweetie baby. Yes, she is. 21st of May, 2021. 3 years ago, Charlie. 3 years ago. Don't bite his mama. That's not very fucking nice, is it? Oh, you're just so unstable, Charlie. She's just nibbling. Mowing problem solved for now. The man arrived and quoted $60, which was less than he originally quoted over the phone. I'm soaked with waves of relief, but I still need to save up $5,000 so I can buy my own ride-on and get off the cyclic wheel of distress that is dealing with contractors. He's coming to mow on Wednesday or Thursday. I need to sit down and breathe. That's how much anxiety I've had over the many years, 21 years of living here. It was intense, but I do get help with the lawns now from the Islamic Women's Association, so I'm very grateful for that. But sometimes it's still stressful because sometimes that man doesn't turn up when he says he's going to and can be a bit unreliable. Doesn't lower the mower down low enough, so he just takes the top off and then it's back in 3 days. Oh, I was cross about that. But apart from that, he used to do a very, very, very good job and be reliable. But anyway, we're sticking with him because he's a decent man and he doesn't trigger me. He's not sleazy and he's not weird. And so I said to I said, let's just stick with him because he doesn't upset me. And I like a man who doesn't upset me. So anyway, here we go, people. I coloured the tongue. Oh, this was the snake tongue I made from a fork for my bracelet that, ironically, where is it? I lost that tongue at Kilcoy markets. Fell off my bracelet. So I had to make another one, but a shorter one because I bought a shorter fork. But anyway, I made it work and I soldered it onto the bracelet permanently so it can't fall off this time. And that, my friends, was an achievement because it took me a few days of working on it to solder things back on, solder jump rings and get it how I wanted it. But by the gods, I did it in the end. but it was epic remaking that bracelet. I soldered the little cages for the rock crystals for the eyes down as well, and that was an epic task. I had so much trouble getting that to work, but in the end I got there, and I'm very, very, very proud of myself. So, do you want to see the finished product? Have I showed it to you before? I think I have, but anyway, while we're on the subject, for those of you who haven't seen that video or have no idea what I'm Twitter-pating about, very Twitter-pated today. Whew, I'm in a state of some kind of excitement. Nerves and excitement at the same time equals Twitter-pated. All right, here we go. I'll show you. I can't wait for my life to begin. Charlie goes, Mama, you're just so crazy sometimes. I know, but I'm happy. I'm a happy mama. Right, here it is, stuck in the bloody bag. Right, here it is. Look. So I I might even put it on now that I've brought it out to show you. So I had to get the little rock crystals out of those little tiny. They used to be little pendants, and where are we? Yes, and I had to solder on the new tongue I made. I preferred the longer tongue actually. I'm a bit sorry in a way that I didn't wait and buy another longer tongue, but this looks good. It kind of looks a bit like a long Italian or French moustache from the 19th century or something weird like that. But anyway, it's still cute. And then I soldered on little nostrils for him from, yeah. And I soldered on, I remade the clasp, which is hanging at a funny angle, but I remade it. From scratch, and even soldered on the little balls on the end. Yes, because your mama, it took me 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and I soldered on all the links. Yes, because your mama is a clever mama. You know, people have been treating me all my life like I'm some kind of dead shit. But when I get going, Mama can achieve great things. She just needs backup and support and enough love and affection and kindness. And did I mention support? But, I mean, if I had money, I'd be dangerous, people. The things that I would be doing, I could do so much wonderful things. But anyway, the gods decree that I flounder around like this, faffing around, waiting for my true love to claim me as his own, faffing around with that, faffing around with monetary worries, faffing around with my once a year when I try to go to the markets, lots of faffing, but in between the faff, there is the pizzazz and alakazam, boom, bam, boom, and ding! Yeah, so I can do things. I am an achiever. I can't get it on for the love of God. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to struggle with that now. Time is of the essence. Let's carry on. But yeah, that's what I was obsessing about in 2021, and I actually redid that bracelet last year, wasn't it? It's about a year ago. So, yes. Did you just say bye-bye? 21st of May 2019. Here was another project that I actually just had to redo recently. My new toilet seat arrived. It's been over 6 months sitting on the broken one. Alas, I am struggling. Don't bite my bracelet, Charlie. Alas, I am struggling to undo the plastic wing nuts on the old seat. I have slathered them and the bolts with WD-40, but it's still not coming off. God, why does everything need to be so bloody difficult? Why indeed? I will probably have to buy new hardware for the new seat as the old bolts are rusty. Annoying. However, on a bright note, it will be nice to have a funky new toilet seat that doesn't try to throw you off like a bucking bronco. Less embarrassing for when I have guests too. Mama doesn't have guests very often, does she, Charlie? So it really wasn't that much of a drama. We lived with that broken toilet seat for a long time, we did. But success is getting a new toilet seat and fixing it all by yourself and being self-determined and proud of your efforts. So anyway, the sweet disdain of poverty. I had to glue one of the stoppers back onto the new seat too. Too much hassle to send it back. So I get very annoyed when I buy something and it's not perfect, and I can't be bothered sending things back, especially when you've had to wait weeks for them to arrive. And so I just fix them myself, but it's not actually cricket when that happens, because you buy something new, it should be perfect, right? But anyway, they were a very sweet company, and when every time their hardware literally rotted through, which was constantly, they would send me free hardware. So they weren't bad. It was just, I guess, one of those things. Bracelets on. Took me a bit of wrangling, but it's on. Yay! That's probably why it's a bit tight, because it's all twisted. It's twisted, Charlie. Mama T. Your mother. I've got things I should be doing today, Charlie. I've got to motivate. I've got to get ready for that market. I'm stressing out of my skull about it. But if I prepare earlier, that will minimise my stress. I'm still waiting on the refund from PayPal, as the first seat I bought got cancelled by the seller. That was weird. Who would have thought that buying a toilet seat was going to be such an almighty struggle? A bit shitful. I needed a man or woman with an angle grinder to get the fucking hardware off the old toilet seat. It took me ages to struggle with it to get them off. Who are you talking to? Now lathered in sweat and furious with my constant struggles. But size, it's off at last. Now to attach, yes, Bobo's probably here, Charlie. I hear you saying Bobo. Now to attach the new seat and start my life again. New loose seat, new comfortable commodities. Life would be easier if we all shat in the woods like bears. Alas, my dignity. What did Keating once say? Life isn't meant to be easy. I bet he never swapped over a toilet seat in his life. And here I posted a photo. Voila! The Queen has her throne back in tidy order by all the gods. What a morning. So the funny thing is, only about a month or so ago, it was rotted through and broken through again. So I had to replace the hardware, and because I bought the wrong one, because I didn't want to go to that company and get yet again another set of free hardware, which they would have happily sent me because They were very fair about that. They must know that their hardware is shit and that it breaks constantly. But I thought, no, I'm done doing that. So I bought some other hardware online and it arrived, but it didn't fit properly. So I had to drill extra holes to get the hardware to fit. So now there's a set of 2 extra holes. But you know what? I don't care. The toilet seat is back in order again. And I'm happy, and I'm successful, and I'm prosperous, and I fought my way through it yet again, and it was hard to get off yet again. It involved a bit of cutting and splicing with my trusty Dremel. So the joys of having a working toilet seat, it's actually quite astonishing, people. Anyway. Well, at least my bathroom looks lovely again. It needed an update. Also, I can pretend I'm in the underwater realm with the mermaids and Naga Kanyes, and everything is just marvellous. And here's a photo of my, at that time, new shower curtain. So, yes. And then recently, as you know, I had a snake visitor. A gigantic carpet python hanging around in my bathroom too. So what is the spiritual meaning about that? I know what snakes mean. They mean sexual energy and kundalini rising and all sorts of wonderful things, actually. Masculine energy. So and indeed the men at the club that night when I went dancing were a little bit more attentive than usual. One even stalked me to my spot. I got up to, I went the long way to avoid him and he was waiting for me in my spot. So I said to him, did you take a shortcut so you could confront me here in my spot? And he just went, ee, and ran away. Anyway, last Friday night when I went dancing, the same guy, the same man, didn't try and meet me face to face in front of me, but he was hovering behind me. They're just so inadequate. They don't know how to behave around me. It's bizarre. I'm not that fucking scary. Well, I guess maybe I am. I must be terrifying to the inept and the inadequate, right? Anyway, poor man. He's a good-looking man too. It's a shame that he's nuts. It really is. He has to be nuts if he's going to trawl around and try and... He reminded me of that serpent, actually. That serpent didn't engage with me, mano a mano. As soon as I screamed, it went straight back down the hole it came out of. Good snake. Thank you for leaving the building. I now call it Elvis. Elvis left the building. All I had to do was say, you're a beautiful snake, but you don't belong in my house. And then shriek a bit and it left. Well-behaved snakes stay out in the garden. Don't they, Charlie? But it was after your assets, Charlie. It was after all of you. It was going to gobble you down in one big mouthful. That's what I was so freaked out about, actually. It's not coming to see Mama. It's not, I'm telling you, that snake's not the least bit interested in your mama. No, it's after you, you little supermarket production line carpet python snack in the back of a tooth. Horrible thought, isn't it? That's why she's in here with me. I'm scared to leave her out in the garden unattended because... Did she do it? Because she's not safe. That snake could be anywhere, hiding, lurking around. So there is that. Watching Catch-22 on Stan. This is still in 2021, people. I read the book by Joseph Heller as a teenager. Very funny book. I also liked his other book, God Knows. Get ready, Byron Bay. Mama T is a coming. 3 more sleeps and a few nanny naps, and I will be in my favourite sacred space. Yay! I need to paddle in the sea and clear my aura right now. 21st of May 2017. I have spent the morning, albeit in a lot of pain, changing the water in my aquaponics pond as I have sick fish again. I also repotted a water lily and put it back in the pond. Lots of mucking around trying to adjust the water. Hope the fish survive. The angel of death has been hovering around with a dead possum last week and now my fish. My friend has an aunt in the process of dying. Another hard day for them. I pray for her an easy passing. Life is such a difficult process when it ends, but we close our eyes in one reality and wake up in another. Or so I believe, hope, pray. Well, I kind of got confirmation of that at my near-death experience in 2019, but anyway. After this life, I would quite welcome endless oblivion, but be careful what you ask for, people, because you create your own reality too. But you know, the gods have other plans. Dear God and gods, please keep any former enemy from my childhood and or marriage, etc., far away from me. I am done with all those scurrilous curs. I welcome true loves, happiness, good health, prosperity into my consciousness now. The past has nothing new to teach me except bloodletting of old wounds. That's true, isn't it, Charlie? She says, I don't know, Mama T. I is a birdie. We all live in the now. It's true. Be like the birdies. Live in the now. But actually, no, you kind of do plan for your futures a little bit when you build your nests ready to put your little eggs into, and you use a little bit of forward planning, you birdies. You're smarter than some of us humans. Got to live in the now, but you got to be practical and plan a little bit for your future. What do you say to that? Bye-bye. I ask and receive, grateful for the gifts of love, medicine, friendship, loving kindness from my humans, non-humans, and my angels. Blessed be the Holy One who sustains me and brings me to this season of synchronous miracles. Thank you for the healing smiley face. In a lot of pain in my lower back today. I stayed home last night and rested, hoping I would feel better today, but my body has other plans. It is another gorgeous day. I'm sitting in the garden with my Beau and Charlie, but will go back to lie down soon. I will source another cage for Charlie, so I don't have to lift his cage outside each day. I don't know how I hurt my back this time, just annoying. I had a lovely afternoon with Jenny and Brendan, drinking coffee and sharing stories. Jenny made me a hot water bottle for my back, feeling much loved. Thanks, guys. Kiss, kiss. Yes, Charlie. May 21st, 2016, 5:02 a.m. Home from a wonderful night dancing at the casino. Ramjet played. On my way out the door, validating my parking, I met a couple. The husband was called Chris. He had Hebrew writing on his neck, so I asked him about it. To serve and protect, it said. I said, well, Chris, I'm very hard to impress, but I am truly impressed. Then he pulled up his shirt and from his belly up to his chest he had a tattooed tree of life with the Hebrew names of the Sephirot. Then he turned his back and he had two massive angels' wings with Michael in Hebrew above them. Either side of his throat he had the cherubim that guard the Ark of the Covenant, and at his throat he had the chalice of the Holy Grail. I said, "Chris, you are heavily protected. Are you Jewish?" "No," he said, "Catholic." I asked his wife if she was Jewish or if they were Messianics. She said, "No, but they studied angelology." I said, "Well, Chris, you can do no wrong. But stay away from me, mate. I keep falling in love with men who think they are angels, more like dark angels, angels of wrath and vengeance, as they break my bloody heart." He laughed. I had my long-sleeved tunic on, so I was unable to show him my tattoo of the burning bush with Aye Asher Aye underneath it. I told him it means I am that I am, God's name. Well, one of God's many, many names. Funny thing is, I have been seeing 11s all day. Angel signs. Then met Chris with his angel's wings and tree of life. Wow, that was a huge sign that I am on the right path. Awesome. And my friend Tarina Edwards wrote, "Only you can break that cycle, Tanya. Kiss, kiss." Meaning stop inviting men who are psychotic and think they're angels into my life. Am I right? Well, I replied, "Yeah, well, I boldly go where no man, woman, or child has gone before. I too have one of God's most potent names tattooed on my arm, an initiation into my recreation as a woman, witch, Viking warrior, Valkyrie, Jew. Always a Jew, chosen." My life has been very fraught, but God, in his own sweet, non-human timing, a little too late at times, has always brought me through. Very often at the 11th hour when all was just about, lost or completely over. Even saving me from my suicide attempt was just bloody mystical and astonishing, quite frankly. But I'm glad to be alive, even though I'm bloody exhausted and my anxiety is terrible, and I'm still shuffling from one foot to the other, trying to move forwards in life. So what else is new? God has always brought me through. I am meant to be here. Julie, who came to save me last August after I decided to leave this earth, was badgered by Spirit to come and check on me, and she called the police and ambos and even told them not to smash down my door, but see if I would respond first, which eventually I did. Only I was in a fugue state, so I don't remember coming to the door, out of the bath, butt naked, opening the door for them, or being dressed by Julie, or being taken arm in arm to the ambulance, or even most of my day in the ED department, laughing out loud. Actually, I remember none of it. I woke up, in the in the psych waiting area for the psych ward where they were still kind of assessing me, I guess. Literally woke up, like came back to consciousness, sitting upright, so I wasn't asleep. I was just moved from one reality to another. And I just said, what am I doing here? And they had to explain it to me. It was very weird, very, very weird, confronting experience. Here I continue on. It is amazing how the mind protects itself, sending electromagnetic signals out to whomever can pick up on them. Of course, I can be a bit of an angel too, a dark one if people try to harm me. But I know God wants me here, and when I met that man last night, his eyes shining with happiness when I told him he was heavily protected, I knew he is one of my tribe. The broken, reborn into something spiritually magnificent. The ordinary life has never been our calling. We are the fools with a capital F, the fool in the tarot card, which ironically is the wisest of the whole deck, by the way. We are the fools who leapt into the abyss, down the rabbit hole, and survived to tell the story. But what the bleep do I know? We are still on the journey to ultimate wisdom and perhaps nirvana. Terina Edwards wrote, "You certainly have," which I'm not sure what she was referencing there. Probably the part where I said I've gone into I've boldly gone where no man or woman has gone before. And it's true, it hasn't been an easy life, has it? I'm still struggling at 59 years of age, by the way, and I'm far behind everyone else who have homes of their own and superannuation and plenty of money and loving partners to support them. I'm freaking out over going to a fucking market because I know likelihood is probably won't make any money that day either. But that's negative thinking, so I have to push past it. But, you know, I'm basing it on the former patterns of the last 3 years, and I can only hope and pray that my luck changes one day and I begin to thrive and I begin to prosper on my own merits, which is actually what I want. I want to be prosperous on my own merits, not live off the vicissitudes and the charity of others like I've had to live off them for the last 29 years. It's you know, I had no options, but it's kind of feels parasitical as well. I feel like I'm just a leech and I serve no purpose. And you know what? That's not actually true either, because I'm a shaman and I'm a wonderful woman and I'm just as deserving of true love and success and happiness as any other mortal on this planet. And I have to consistently remind myself of that because I've been beaten down for so long that I have difficulty reframing and retraining my brain. That's my reality, people. So here we are again, striving. Here I write, I am humbled and grateful and often downright mystified to be living in such incredible times. A world that has made such amazing advances in science and technology. Bioglass to heal fractured or crushed cartilage. A product to quell bleeding. Social and environmental consciousness raising. Ow, Charlie, look, that's not nice. No biting, mama. Get up. You're going to go in your cage if you do that. Sorry about that, people. She actually bit down quite hard that time. Where was I? Social and environmental consciousness raising, of which the most profoundly marvellous, look at her acting like a boss, look at this, flexing her muscles, little bugger, of which the most profoundly marvellous is the screaming torment of thousands, if not millions, of children, past and present, are finally being heard and validated, and in some cases seeing justice in the courts. For those of us forgotten, broken bodies and minds that had to raise ourselves up from child sexual abuse and many varied other forms of abuse and neglect, the justice we so yearn for may never materialise in this life, but we can hope that there is some kind of reward for us, some kind of peace, and a great embracing, comforting love that never turns its face from us. Perhaps spiritual or earthly, or even a love, no, Charlie, we have exuded from within our deepest, most intimate and most unattainable core. A love we had to allow to blossom inside our very own souls. Why is she doing that? Why are you sticking your head down in the dark in the crook of my arm, you weird little bird? Enough to nourish us in our pain, our sorrow, and our striving for freedom, for safety, for peace, for comfort, safely held in the arms of those most precious to us. She's biting my thumb, which is under my arm. She's full of mischief today. You're full of mischief today, Charlie. Yes, mischievous munchkin. Ow. We walk this earth but once upon a time in the Gilgulim of reincarnation. I wonder what life form you were in your previous life, Charlie. Maybe you were the human and I was the bird. Have you thought about that? Or once dreamt I was a butterfly. Now I dream I am a man, or words to that effect. I'll say that sentence again because I'm distracted by Charlie biting me quite hard. We walk this earth but once upon a time in the Gilgulim of reincarnation. But what do we take with us? Our heart, our light, and our essence. Perhaps on the other side, even our memories, which will be weighed and then either honoured as gifts of growth and beauty, or discarded like an old snakeskin, suddenly after a physical life, irrelevant, just washed away. I hope when my time finally comes, I will have only the very best of life's experiences to shine through my spirit, to dance and rise and shine in the eternal embrace of love, for nothing else matters. Still exhausted from last night, but Karen is on her way over and we are meeting Joe for another night out. Oh my. I am also really looking forward to seeing Alice through the looking glass this Thursday. What's new, pussycat? Neither here nor there, but everywhere. Meow. 21st of May 2014. was a big jump, wasn't it? What year were we in? 2016. Yes, we were. And I don't know what happened to 2015. Probably didn't write anything that year. It's odd. I posted Hilda and Crystal's photo again so you can see the similarities. Hilda had big, luscious dimples. This is my mother-in-law of blessed memory. And well, she's quite young there, but she really was a gorgeous woman. She really was. She was also a raging fucking borderline and liked to split the entire family, have them in a constant state of war with each other. But she also was a bulimic that came with that as well. But not diagnosed, but we all used to see her disappear to vomit at bar mitzvahs and weddings and parties. She would eat vigorously and gorge herself and then disappear to the loo and then come back wiping her mouth. Like, we were onto her, but she really needed like psychiatric treatment for that condition. It was actually quite serious. All her teeth were corroded from all the acid from forcing herself to vomit all the time. So she had issues, my mother-in-law. But having said that, overall, she was actually quite sweet to me, overall. But it was her bloody kids that was so savage that made me make the decision to migrate to Brisbane and get away from all the toxicity. It was just too much. And what did I do? I should have got away from my fucking husband and my mother. So I only eased one source of problem, and the problems I brought with me intensified. It was heinous what I was put through. And I don't know where the photo for Crystal is, but I showed you the photo yesterday, and they do look alike, my daughter and her grandmother. So, it's destiny, people. Who you breed with is destiny sometimes. The spirit knows. Would I breed with him again? Hell no. I wouldn't even have a cup of tea with him again. It sounds like Cher, doesn't it? Cher said that. She said, some of the men I dated I wouldn't even have a cup of coffee with now. Well, here's to you, Cher. High five on that one. I do agree with that. But Mama T hasn't been invited out on a proper date in decades, so it's a moot point about even having coffee with them. Certainly not having sex with them either. Like, ew, disrespectful, dishonouring dogs that I invited into my body. Dear goddess. That's why I'm rejoicing in the sweetness being shown to me, albeit platonic, from my friends in the bands and my friends in the music scene and friends in the club. It's just so gorgeous and delightful. I actually haven't experienced so much gorgeousness and sweetness before. And I've been in that scene for 13, 14 years. So it's astonishing. It's astonishing that post the COVID epoch, where everyone had to confront their own imminent potential death, people finally lightened up and actually saw me for the first time. I've always been the same person, but they kind of resonated with me at long last. Me, who's walked with death all my life since infancy, didn't seem such a weirdo and a freak anymore, am I right? There's nothing like facing your own immolation to get things very much into perspective and to get things to be real at long last. But anyway, I'm so blessed and grateful to have beautiful souls in my life who love me and, treat me with kindness and respect. I am so very grateful. Long may it continue, my darlings. Long may it continue. I pray that I've finally found my tribe and people who vibe with me and resonate with me and love me in spite of my quirky ways, and finally recognize my spirit and my soul and my fierce self-determination and my courage at times, and actually, can relate to me and respond to me with sweetness and kindness, and one day even, truest, deepest love, a wonderful man who will, be happy to share his life with me, and as a king to my queen, as an equal, and maybe that could happen one day. I mean, it was prophesied 30 years ago, but, timelines change and life changes, so I can't hold the gods to that contract, because, frankly, I've given up on it ever manifesting. But I've been taken by surprise before and been astonished and lived through 11th hour miracles many times before. So maybe my love life will be like an 11th hour miracle too. Scary thought, but I guess in a way it kind of is, since the whole entire planet is immersed in some dreadful poisoning that affects all our health. We are in the 11th hour. We are very much in the 11th hour, trying to gain equilibrium and maintain our health and our body autonomy and our safety. And I choose this time to decide that I'm ready to allow a love partner in my life and fall in love. I mean, it's just so incongruent and crazy. It's the only something that Tanya could do. At the 11th hour, when all seems lost and impossible and untenable, Mama T creates magic out of her own heart-centeredness, soul and being. You kind of have to laugh. It's a bit bizarre, but that's who I am, people. That's how the gods created me, so I'll just roll with it. 21st of May 2013. Living in interesting times. Boy, were they interesting. I had a great weekend, being generally avoidant after the uber creeps I attracted the previous week, so have been mulling over my life. I might have to spice it up like mulled wine, which in German is called Glühwein, pull up my bootstraps and keep calm, but keep going. My doctor tells me there is a dearth of love for people in their 40s to 50s age bracket, as the internet has made dating and sexuality in general so very, very disposable. I blame it on the pill generation, all those extra hormones creating a generation or two of weak men, unable or unwilling to connect with, support, protect, or maintain long-term relationships with women. For whatever reason, sadness and loneliness is the outcome for people in my age group, which ain't that the fucking truth right there, by the gods. But however, I carefully curate and lock away my sadness and loneliness by going dancing each weekend and just being joyous in my own body, mind and spirit, and dancing my wild shamanic dance, and just cleaving to that unity with the gods, and that holding myself kind of together and emotionally, cathartically working things out with all the hard rock songs, and I express instead of repress, and then I go home alone back to my little bed, and it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Sadness and loneliness is preferable than lying in bed next to a monster. And I did that for, over a decade, so there won't be any of that anymore. Please God, no more. No more monstrosities, and only beautiful, heartfelt, loving, sincere, kind men will be allowed in my inner circle sanctorum, and one special, chosen, adored one will be allowed to be my intimate partner. And that's it. I'm not settling for anything less than that, than a noble, kind, honouring, sweet man. And here we have it. Holding on while letting go, as my friend Michelle Citrine, who's a shaman, used to say to me often, just hold on while letting go, Tanya. It's true. 21st of May 2011. So bored. Did I mention bored? Thinking about starting my knitting. I was going to start in winter because I'm cold and bored. I am also craving chocolate. Again, after I devoured a whole block of cooking chocolate for breakfast. Actually, everyone else's lunch this morning. Lol. My morning. Your 12:30 p.m. Lol. It's a life. I feel like I'm on the brink of something this week. I'm reading to you and I've got things running through my head like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and all this like background anxiety and background noise, and I'm like pushing it away because it's like I don't have any appointments until Friday when I have to go to the hospital for another test. So why all this pressure on myself? It's like ridiculous. So holding on while letting go, ding, push that away. Sometimes I wonder if I pick up on someone else's anxiety. It's very odd. Anyway, I can't wait to pay off my new gold gypsy earrings I have on lay-by, which I lost one, so I melted down the other one. I really wouldn't mind buying myself another pair, actually. They were lovely earrings. But do I need them? No, not really. Here I write, they are outstanding. Then I need those purple boots, a corset, a swirly gypsy skirt, and my long-awaited tattoos. And I will be in heaven and certainly revelling in my new look, which I did indeed achieve, the boots, the corset, the skirt, and my only one tattoo. And pardon me, I'm very, very happy about that. A bar humbug sort of day, waiting to see if the Meshuggah Goyim got it right this time, if this is my last day on earth. If so, it was a bored day, apart from a short spell in the garden. My last day on earth, and that Jesus man wants to rain on my fucking parade. I know for a fact it won't happen. I'm a believer in the master of the universe, not the shadow puppet. And that references that date in 2011. Some weird Christian sect had declared that the world was going to end on that day. Like they do with monotonous regularity, because they actually loose feed from souls and they harvest all that fear and anxiety and they feed off it like psychic vampires, and probably they make money from it as well somehow. I'm not sure how they make money from it, frankly, but all those doom and gloomers, like the idiots in America that went insane about the total eclipse, convinced that the whole world was going to die because of an eclipse. Like so primitive and stupid, as if we haven't had total eclipse eclipses hundreds of times throughout history. But, oh, we're all going to die, we're all going to die. These kind of idiots grind my gears, by the way. Absolutely grind my gears. So that's why I was having a little rant about that. So guess what? I fed them with my energy. Even my anger and frustration at their insanity and stupidity is feeding them with my energy. So they're sitting there going, sucking it up, right? Am I right? And this is how lunatic our planet Earth asylum has become. So there is that. 21st of May, 2010. I've emailed my completed timeline, which took me several weeks to wade through because I found it so emotionally unhinging. Oh well, it's all done now. Just might have to answer questions on it or add details, and then my lawyer can use it to formulate my affidavit, which ended up being utter horseshit. They didn't use any of it. So they put me through weeks of quite severe triggering just for their own sadistic entertainment, the evil bastards, i.e. more loosh feeding and psychic vampirizing. It's just completely evil and perverted, our legal system, by the way. Completely evil and perverted. But this is the same system that takes, child victims of sexual abuse from their mothers and hands them to their perpetrators and thinks nothing of that, This is how evil and perverted it really is. So they can feed off those poor, tortured, innocent little children's souls for the rest of their lives. Am I right? You're looking at one, kids. Struggling even to go to a fucking market. That's how much damage has been done to me throughout my life. Anyway, never mind. Today, in this moment, I choose to be happy, I choose to thrive, and I choose to let the gods take vengeance on my behalf on those that need vengeance, and let the gods bless those who've treated me with sweetness and kindness accordingly to their own will, because the gods can see into true hearts and minds, whereas I'm blocked at every fucking turn. But it is what it is, people. Here I continue to write, woohoo, I feel like I am slowly chipping away at all this horror and can see it ending soon. And yes, that Will Dispute did end on the 6th of September 2012, but life did not get all that much better for me. In fact, it got a hell of a lot worse. And then along came, in 2020, the COVID epoch. So here we are, 14 years later, I'm still struggling for safety and equanimity and for success and for my truest, deepest love and for my health. Well, I'm not alone in struggling for my health anymore. An entire planet has been left shattered and broken, and we're all struggling. It is what it is. But it's ironic that I thought the horror would end soon, and for me, the horror never ended. Just changed flavours or changed intensity or changed faces. So now you know why, when I'm out dancing, I appear wild and courageous and tempestuous at times, but I'm very conscious. I'm very conscious that I'm just a hair trigger away, and I'm broken and I'm reconfigured and I'm kintsugi'd and I'm childlike hope of finding love, and the whole thing's quite loopy, people. It's not normal. It's not normal how I navigate through my life. But I wasn't raised with normal, so I know no different. And I've done well to survive this long, and not just done well, I had a lot of help to survive this long, and it's all of it is quite miraculous. My earth angels and my ethereal angels as well, literally dragging me up by the hair at times, telling me, come on, Tanya, you can do this life. One more moment, one more day, one more week, one more year, and time passed by, and here I am, strutting my stuff. So, Goddess bless. May we all be blessed by the gods of our understanding, with all our most beautiful, heartfelt, sincere dreams coming true. May life treat us with kindness and sweetness, and may the enemies, seen and unseen, the invisible, faceless entities that brought COVID into our lives and bioengineered poisons into our lives, and may they all face justice in the very, very near future. May they be brought down for what they have done to my fellow humans who were innocent and trusting and a bit bloody naive, quite frankly, or asleep at the wheel, or not wanting to believe the worst possible outcome. You should have listened to me when I said, no, I'm your canary down the mine, by the way, still gasping for my very breath. So, God's bless you all. The Tanya has spoken. Be well, be happy, fight for your lives and your body autonomy and your right to joy and true love and cosmic consciousness. Bye for now. Sending big agape love to my YouTube audience and my friends and family who may or may not watch my videos. And life is beautiful, people, even if you've got lorikeet shit dripping off you. I think it's shit. Don't know what that was. Anyway, life is beautiful. Hold it precious, always and forever. And be in constant communion with the gods of your understanding, because they will give you comfort and guidance and sometimes miracles to get you through. And when you develop a relationship like that you can trust in with your very life, you can't actually lose. You can't actually ever lose ever again, even though you live with the sadness and the loneliness and the treachery and the betrayals and the heartache. In the big picture, you are so blessed and so loved that it's astonishing. So bye for now. Take good care.